I find it hard that in the big 2026, that not only are we still gatekeeping ourselves from playing fighting games, but other people too. That's actually insane to me. If you guys were looking to rage bait me, you got me, okay? What's up, everybody? My name is Sen. Welcome back to the channel. And for today's video is a bit more of a casual dispelling of stupidity, I guess. I don't really know. Recently on the channel, I posted this video talking about like the basics of execution. The whole premise of that video was to be like, oh, hey, I know there's things in execution that's tough for new players to do, but there's easier stuff to get your hands on when you're getting started. This video spawned from this video and maybe some other Street Fighter 4 videos. I don't know. I've been playing and enjoying Street Fighter 4. It's been fun as a newcomer, someone that's revisiting the game, someone that hasn't touched it in many, many years. But the stigma from Street Fighter 4 and the thing that everybody talks about is one frame link this, one frame link that. Entire kits in Street Fighter 4 are not comprised of one frame links. Now, I get it. Street Fighter 4 is a tougher to execute game because there isn't a buffer system. I mentioned this. I bring it up. But even in a game that's hard to execute things on, there's still, in fact, easier things to get your hands on. It's what I've been like largely getting by with. But the thing is, as tough as Street Fighter 4 is, games aren't made like Street Fighter 4 anymore. That's what I brought up. Street Fighter 6 and 5 have buffer systems implanted in them, so execution isn't as severe of a stepping stone. This started in Street Fighter 5 with, I believe it was the 3-frame buffer system, and so many people complained about it. They're like, oh, this is an assassination of character expression or combo expression, whatever. But people got over it over time. People realized Street Fighter 5 was a good, fun game. I had a good time with it, as basic as I played it. It's only very specific instances in Street Fighter 6 that will have something like an actual true one-frame link. I don't even know the scenarios, but I'm pretty sure it's a thing. But when you're new, that like a one-frame link isn't even going to come up in the conversation. I personally think execution is really sick. That's in large part why I picked this guy Ed, because he had really cool routing, even if it wasn't super advanced or anything like that. I just thought his combos looked sick, and he does have higher levels of execution too. I'm gonna try to hit this first try. I dropped it, but he has really cool level 2 combos. And yes, in the past when I regularly played this game, I have hit them. The hardest part in all this has been being the middleman between two different sects of conflicting ideas. I don't really know. Now you may ask, like, Sen, why are you even like interacting with this? Like, why are you talking about it? It only draws more attention. Because if I don't check these motherfuckers at the door, they're going to continue to spread misinformation to not just themselves, but people that are willing to believe what they have to say. Some people are like, oh, why'd you show X or Y game? That game's like a baby game. That game's easy execution. I talk about it in this video, like very easily summed up. Execution is a spectrum of things. Even in easier games, while they do have easy things to get a hold of as far as execution, there's still some advanced, cool stuff to really get your hands on. And if you really feel that way, go hit this combo. And if you do not hit it first try every try, you fucking suck. Now, I already have the benefit of knowing that I already suck. But if you're so good, you should have this every try, right? You should never get mixed up. You should never get hit. You should only perfect your opponents ever. Now, I can't do this. I already know I suck. I have nothing to lose in this. I don't even know how to do this combo, even though it's right in front of me. I'll never hit this probably in a million years of my life. I don't fucking play Teemo. I will never play Teemo. The other camp of people just made fighting games sound like it is impossible to learn and get better at a fighting game, even just in a basic way. Saying something like a shooter is just dramatically more intuitive than a fighting game ever could be, like, you know, I'll give you some leeway that, yeah, a lot of people have developed skills on particularly things like mouse and keyboard or maybe controller that would help them get started and transition into a shooting game. But if I take two people that have never played video games ever and put one in a fighting game and one in a shooting game, the path to getting better is going to be pretty similar. They're going to get super duper murked when they first start out, not know what the fuck they're doing, get absolutely mauled, not have a good time, this, that, and the third. I have seen people that have tried to pick up a shooting game for the first time and not know that they need to move with WASD and move their mouse around at the same time, and then they just get shot in the side of the dome wondering what the fuck happened. And how is that much better than getting fucking mauled in a fighting game? It's the same shit. Okay, let's say you graduate a little bit from not being able to look around and move in a shooter game. The next level to that, when you suck at a shooter, is just spraying and praying. Your aim is going to be fucking terrible. But is that not the same thing as just having someone mash auto combo in like a game like Dragon Ball or Marvel Tokon? Is that not the same thing as them mashing jab all the time, not knowing what the fuck they're doing? They're essentially doing the same thing. And like I said, I'll give leeway to shooters because there are skills that are built up from other games that people could have played before that might help them get accustomed to a shooter. You know, largely for a lot of people go from one shooter to another. But also, is that not the same thing as someone playing a fighting game and then transitioning their skills to another fighting game? And with that, let's say you've never played a fighting game before and you want to give it a try. The cool thing about the genre is that there isn't anything that feels like it. Nothing feels exactly like a fighting game, even between fighting games. Yes, there's a bunch of transitionary skills, 100%, but each fighting game feels so distinct with their system mechanics or just how they execute combos, like what the setups are like, how grimy this is. Is it a single game? Is it a team game? Each game feels different and cool and unique, and I really love that about the genre. It's the reason why I play and pick up multiple games. Even if I'm not amazing at them, I still go and have a good time every time. For instance, I'm not a Tekken player, but I played Tekken in the past. I can casually go and re-download Tekken 8 and mash and have a good time with Asuka. It's not that big of a thing. Don't let people make it sound like getting into a fighting game is impossible. It's simply not. You know, a proven formula right here. Bunch of people that haven't really interacted with much, if at all, with the genre, getting into fighting games, playing, and becoming pretty good. And you can make the argument that people are teaching them, but I guarantee you that, you know, there was definitely a couple of games that you picked up because a friend could show you the ropes, or vice versa. Maybe you showed your friend how to play League of Legends. And in a way, I would argue that's even worse, because at least just in fighting games, it's just you and the other player. And like, at worst, they may fucking teabag you. Oh, brother. But in a team game, not only do you have to worry about your teammates and not letting them down, especially if it's an objective-based game, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, especially on your first initial encounters, and then them flaming you the whole time, but it might even go into the enemy team. The enemy team might tell you fucking suck. I've seen it before in games like League of Legends. So if you are allowed to show your homie how to play whatever game, then I should be allowed to teach my homie or whoever how to play fighting games. If I have the ability to teach someone how to play Street Fighter from the literal ground up, I would show them a handful of things and then I'd just set them loose. I'd show them how to throw a fireball. I'd show them their jabs, and their crouching jabs do the same thing, right? And then, you know, hey, you can combo that into fireball if you want. I'd show them a poke, like medium kick or something like that. Oh, it's pretty good. Maybe show them crouching medium kick. And then I'd show them an anti-air. Literally, that's it. Actually, I would show them drive impact, because at a beginner level, drive impact is going to either blow you up or help you blow someone up. And then, dude, if they're throwing fireballs and anti-airing people when they jump at them, they're already playing a pretty interesting version of the game. I'd let them loose with that and then be like, oh, hey, once you're really comfy with all that, then you can come back to me. If I was showing someone really baby stuff about Dragon Ball, I'd be like, all right, you have a light, medium, heavy launch, light, medium, heavy. And if I don't want to even go that far, you can mash auto combo. Plenty of people I know had done this for a really long time. And guess what? They fucking won. If someone was like, oh, I really want to learn Marvel 3. Marvel 3, I'd show them the same shit. You know, light, medium, heavy launcher, light, medium, heavy launcher. And if they're really feeling froggy, go into super. I really thought in the FGC that we've evolved past certain levels of discourse, you know, certain levels of gatekeeping. But man, shit really just doesn't change. And that kind of goes with all communities. You know, you want to go over to like Call of Duty, people are going to complain about skill-based matchmaking, right? It's the same thing with every new Call of Duty. Whether they have it or they don't have it, that's kind of sort of always the talk of the town. And even if I'm not around to teach people these fighting games, or they don't have a homie, you know, tutorials exist. I'll give you, in some fairness, the tutorials in a lot of fighting games suck. And in fact, I would argue in a lot of games, a lot of tutorials suck. But fortunately enough, especially in the modern era, each game that you're looking for is riddled with really good fundamental, basic, and even into advanced content that you can get the hang of these games with. You know, let me see. Street Fighter 4 Guide. I'm sure this is going to be awful because of the older generation. Yeah, I mean, the content around this time for these games wasn't particularly amazing, so the quality of the stuff that you're going to be looking at isn't as great, but there is stuff out there that exists even for older games. As a newcomer, fighting games are already hard enough to get into with preconceived notions that come from outside the genre. We don't need people in the genre to stop them on their way in either. Fighting games are cool and interesting, and they're my favorite genre for a reason, and you should really give them a try if you're actually interested in getting into them. This all falls apart. All this thing that I'm yapping about right now, all this falls apart if you're not actually interested. When it comes to recommendations for fighting games to get into, I would actually recommend Street Fighter the least because, you know, in other games there is something like an auto combo they can fall back on. But if someone is really dedicated to, hey, I really want to learn Street Fighter more than anything, I'm not going to turn them away and be like, maybe you should learn like Guilty Gear 2XKO instead or something like that. Maybe you should learn Marvel Tokon. If you want to learn Street Fighter, that's where your motivation and incentive to keep learning is coming from, the fact that you actually want to do it. It's really awesome if you have a friend that can help you get into the genre, especially when you're really interested, that can give you a helping hand along the way. And even if you don't, despite the impression I might have given throughout this video, people are really friendly and they're super down to help you learn on your way because they want more people in the genre. They want more people to realize how cool all this shit is. When I made these couple of videos about Street Fighter 4, people were so stoked, like, oh dude, I can't believe you're getting into my game. That's so sick. I'm so happy you're playing. I'm like, I know it's tough, but I'm really glad you're having a good time. Dude, everyone was so nice. With all of this said, go play fighting games, enjoy fighting games, have a good time, and get ready for the next battle. I'll see you guys later. Peace.